Guys, I am so confused but so freaking excited at the same time here because, of course, we have San Diego Comic-Con going on right now with the Marvel Studios animation panel. We just got some cool stuff with I Am Groot, but now we are talking about the Marvel Studios Spider-Man Freshman Year Disney Plus series, which was announced on Disney Plus Day, November of last year, and this has been, I think, my most anticipated of Marvel Studios' upcoming animated projects because, I love Spider-Man, but things just got confusing with this because we thought this was going to be canon to the MCU. We thought it was going to be Tom Holland's Peter Parker, even though we know that he's not doing the voice, unfortunately. And we thought it was going to be Peter Parker before Captain America Civil War, before he gets the Stark tech suit, his freshman year of high school. But now with some of these announcements, I don't know if it's canon or if it's not. If it is, then that is insane. So we'll go further into talking about the canonity of it later when I go through some of these announcements. But let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into this. So first of all, Spider-Man Freshman Year is going to be coming to Disney Plus in 2024, which that does kind of suck. They start off with the bad news of we thought it was coming next year in 2023, but oh, sorry guys, it's coming 2024, which that part does suck. But honestly, with these other announcements, they definitely make up for the little bit of bad news that we get right here. So we have a first look at the show. This is our first look at Peter Parker in the series, a very Steve Ditko art style, which is awesome because, it's very reminiscent of the original Spider-Man designs from the comics when Spider-Man was first created. That's awesome. I love that. Really paying homage to the original Spider-Man and Steve Ditko and Stan Lee and all that stuff. So I think that's absolutely great. And it does look like Tom Holland's Peter Parker as well. And we got a nice look at his homemade suit, which is different from his homemade suit that we've seen in the movies. So maybe this is even his pre-homemade suit before that one. Or maybe it's a different Spider-Man. Again, we don't know, but it definitely looks pretty cool. And we have a nice action shot of Spider-Man in action here in his homemade suit. And we've got confirmation here that he's going to be wearing multiple suits throughout the series, including the classic red and blue suit, which I assume will be kind of his final suit if, it's the end of his freshman year. That will be Civil War time, so maybe that's his Stark tech suit that we got in Civil War. But the other suits here, oh my god, what is going on here? Because, okay, first, let's go to the right of the red and blue suits. So that is the Future Foundation suit. The suit he gets when he's a member of the Fantastic Four in the comics. So, I don't know what is going on here, but I love it. I highly doubt the Fantastic Four is going to be in here, but then again, with some of this other stuff, you never know. Now, as for the other three suits, these are the three suits that Peter Parker actually wore in the comics during the Identity Crisis storyline. And these are actually the slingers. So we have Hornet on the left, then we have Dusk, which you probably can figure out which one that is, and then the yellow one off to the right is Prodigy. Now, in the comics during this storyline, Spider-Man was framed for murder, so he took on these other identities to help clear his name. And after that in the comics, those identities went on to younger people who took on those roles and became superheroes as well. And this is interesting because I did a video on this a couple days ago about a rumor that the Slingers, these three characters, were actually going to be the villains of the show. So I'm not sure if that's still going to be the case or not, but for now it looks like Peter Parker is going to be wearing those suits. And again, this is when the whole "is this MCU canon" question starts getting asked. But then we go even further because then we meet Daredevil. So Charlie Cox is voicing Daredevil in the series, which is insane. He's going to be wearing the black and red suit. He looks amazing. So the whole Charlie Cox voicing Daredevil, that definitely lends credence to the whole MCU canon thing. But then again, he's wearing the black suit in pre-2016 times, so I don't know. But then we also have Doctor Strange in here. They don't confirm if Benedict Cumberbatch is doing the voice. I mean, he did the voice for What If, so I assume he would, but if he is, then you'd think they would have announced that here. But it's cool to see that Doctor Strange is going to be in this show. But again, Spider-Man never met Doctor Strange until Avengers Infinity War. So this is when I start getting suspicious of, it's not canon, is it? And then even further, we're introduced to Peter and his friends. So we already got our first look at Peter. There he is right there. Then they confirm that Harry Osborn, Amadeus Cho, and Nico Minoru are going to be a part of this series. Now, Nico Minoru is, of course, a member of the Runaways from the Runaways TV show, if you watched that. So this is her right here in the kind of gray plaid. And then I'm kind of confused about the rest because Amadeus Cho, I'm assuming, is this guy right here, the scientist in the lab coat, because that's just what Amadeus Cho is known for. He's a young Asian who's super smart. He actually becomes the Hulk at one point in the comics. But then where is Harry Osborn? I mean, is this Harry Osborn? Are they race bending Harry Osborn? I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility, but I feel like that's more likely to be Hobie Brown, another character from the comics who actually ends up becoming the Prowler at one point, so that's a possibility. But then we've got some other characters here. That's cool. We have then my favorite part, the villains. So, oh my god, we have a bunch of villains in this show. Classic comic characters, like for example, Dr. Octopus. Dr. freaking Octopus in his classic Steve Ditko design with the green and yellow and the lab coat, and it is just chef's kiss, beautiful right there. We also have Scorpion, actually as Scorpion. So if this is, Peter's freshman year, Matt Gargan wasn't the Scorpion, so at this point I'm going with the fact that this is not canon. But then we've got some other characters in here that I don't really know. I'm assuming this is the Rhino because they did confirm the Rhino. But we'll also have the Chameleon. The Chameleon is there off to the right, a super, kind of comics accurate design, at least with the mask and everything. But that looks great. We're going to have the Tarantula in here. I'm not sure if that's her or her, but one of them. This guy right here, I first thought was the Shocker, just given the kind of basic design, but with the whole fire thing, I'm thinking it's not Chameleon, Shocker. But there's some other villains confirmed here. Like, the official list is Dr. Octopus, Scorpion, Rhino, Speed Demon, Chameleon, and Tarantula. So you've got a great look at some different villains that are going to be featured here in the series. Again, leading credence to the idea that it's not canon to the MCU, and then things get even more confusing because we got Harry Osborn in here. So now we're also going to be having Norman Osborn as well. And this specific shot right here is what gets me really, really confused about the whole MCU canon thing, because you have Norman Osborn, and you have Peter Parker here, and then you have Aunt May, who kind of looks like Marissa Tomei, but with shorter hair. And this looks like the same exact shot from Captain America Civil War, where Tony Stark is in this same exact place, but instead it's Norman Osborn. So I feel like this might be, maybe it is canon to the MCU, but just through the multiverse, and it's going to be kind of like an alternate version of the MCU where we have, instead of Tony Stark being Peter's mentor, it's now going to be Norman Osborn. I think that's actually a really cool idea, because this will make basically the most comics accurate that Spider-Man has ever been in the MCU. Kinda. And there's another shot of Norman Osborn and Spider-Man together, actually. So, definitely some really interesting stuff going on here. And you never know, maybe Norman Osborn will even become the Iron Patriot like he does in the comics as well. That could be even more Iron Man mentor-y, taking the place of that in the series as well. But guys, that's it. I at least I think it is it. We are actually getting a second season as well. It's going to be sophomore year, so each season is going to be a different year of Peter's high school experience. But again, it's confusing, but super dang exciting at the same time. I mean, this is some great stuff. We got Daredevil, Charlie Cox Daredevil to be specific. We got Doctor Strange here. We got Harry Osborn, Norman Osborn, Nico Minoru. We got Doc Ock, Scorpion, Rhino, Chameleon. A whole bunch of Spider-Man goodness in here, which again makes me think that it's going to be MCU adjacent, where it's going to be an alternate universe with similarities to the MCU, but it'll still overall be a different, separate universe. So guys, I'm so excited for this. Stay tuned for more updates, announcements, and news for San Diego Comic-Con 2022 when it comes to Marvel Studios. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about all this news and all these huge announcements on Marvel Studios' Spider-Man freshman year? So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.